Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
okay, item D on the agenda is pinning ceremony for Assistant Chief of Police, Edward Legg. Welcome. How are you?
I'll get out of the way here. You sure, Chief? You come up?
No? Okay.
It is, but it's also about everybody that you serve with. Kind of like Chief Mack just said, it's all about you. It's for the people you serve. You've been here when I sworn on quite a few people, and I was telling basically the same thing. They're joining a good organization. It's a good organization because the stuff that man does right there and the stuff that you do. The stuff that you care for, the way you train, the way you care for the people that you work with. And that's reflected every day in the job that they do every day. We really appreciate everything you've done for us, appreciate everything you're gonna do for us. We all trust that you and him are gonna train our people to do the right thing at the right time. And instilling that in them every single day. And you know that from your time in service, you know better than I ever can ever speak it, so I'm gonna shut up. All right, let's do this. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, swear you in. All right. I state your name.
I, Edward Legg,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Ohio,
and the state of Ohio,
and the charter, ordinances, and resolutions
and the charter, ordinances, and resolutions
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
of the city of Napoleon, Ohio,
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and faithfully discharge and perform
and faithfully discharge and perform
all duties incumbent upon me
all duties incumbent upon me
as Assistant Chief of the City of Napoleon, Ohio Police Department,
as Assistant Chief of the City of Napoleon Police Department,
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations. Please. Floor is yours.
Oh, they said I could make a 45-minute speech.
Minimum 45.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody. It's been my pride and pleasure for the past 23 years to be here working for the city of Napoleon. Couldn't be more happy about this. I just want to have many more years of service and take care of the business you guys need me to. So I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll start over here.
Just sign there.
There you go.
Maze to get through here.
I know, I was trying to figure out the time.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Good job.
Hey, Ed,
Yes.
Brian Paperwork is up here.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
You're not getting out of this thing.
Tried to make my escape.
How do you want
I
to?
don't know
One
where-
outlet in the middle, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. That should work. Thanks.
Thank you. Good. Thanks.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is swearing in Patrolman Justin Jackson and Josh Buchenberg.
Okay. Okay. Either one, I don't care. Do the hokey pokey if we have to. You know, you heard what I just said to Lieutenant Legg about he and Chief Mack and the group that they formed. It's a good organization. And that's what you two are joining. We've had this conversation already a little bit, but you're gonna get a little more official today, okay? You're joining a good organization, right? They care for you. Look at all those faces up there that care, right? They all care for you. They all want the same thing for both of you, to go home. After your shift, you go home. That's what you do. The old chief of police would tell people that criminals are stupid. That's why they're criminals. We'll catch them eventually. Everything you touch, we can replace. We can't replace you. We can't replace you. So everything you touch, we can replace, but we're not going to replace you. I don't do a lot of things when I'm mayor, right? Something I don't want to do is I don't want to go to a last call because you did something stupid. So keep your eyes open, your ears open, your mouth shut, and you watch and you listen to what these people tell you, and you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Okay? Any questions for me?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, let's do it. All right. Raise your hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joshua Daniel Buchenberg,
I, Justin Jackson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
to support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of the state of Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the
of
City of Napoleon,
the city of Napoleon,
to which I have been appointed,
to which I have been appointed,
and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
will discharge the duties of this office.
You have to go first. You have to let the strangers here. You got to tell us a little about yourself. Fill us in.
Hello, my name is Justin Jackson. I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. In the last 10 years, I've worked a multitude, a couple different departments, so I hope to bring a good set of skills that I have from working in other departments. One thing I believe in is always respecting people and, you know, just showing empathy, because you never know what someone's going through. And that's one of my biggest attributes I'd say I'm going to bring to the table, is that I'm a very empathetic person, and from the smallest situation to the biggest, I believe we always got to field whatever call we go to. I don't care if it's dog pooped in someone's yard to, you know, to someone passing away. They're all important, you know, and that's how we have to treat it. But I'm very happy to be here. This is what I was looking for, and I plan to finish out the next 18, 20 years I have left. So I want to thank you very much.
Awesome. Go ahead, John. We can do that. Yep, yep. Glad we talked, and then we'll do that. Is that okay, Chief? All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joshua Buchenberg. I have lived in the city of Napoleon for the past 20 years of my life. Outside of high school, I enlisted in the military and worked for the United States Air Force through the Air National Guard. And during my time there, I had heard my calling to become a police officer. And as I sought that duty, I wanted to come back to serve the town that I lived the vast majority of my life in. And in doing that, I'm finally happy to be here to stand in front of you all at this moment. And I'd like to thank you all for this opportunity and the pleasure that it is for me to serve this community that I call home.
Right there. Who's an opinion?
My mother.
Okay. You need someone to take pictures of for you, Mom, right? Where's your camera? Right there? You take somebody, will you do that for us?
Thank you.
Joe, you want to get in?
Yep. Official photographer.
No, you're right. Chief. You good? Okay, we can do that, yep.
And the bottom?
The camera's watching, don't worry about it.
Right there, there we go. Yep. Push it. There we go.
Brian has asked us to get a quick picture, so we'll have 1, 2, and I'll stand over here. All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. Should do it. Thanks.
Okay. Justin, you send her here for us, if you will. Yes, sir. And Josh, you will go down here, just handshakes. Super, there you go.
Congratulations. Well, Brad. Thank you. Congratulations.
It's always a good way to start the meeting.
Yes. So the rest of the meeting lasts usually about 2.5 hours, so if you guys want to sit and hang out, you're welcome.
I'm with Billy on this
Trying
one.
to scare people away?
And Billy was ready.
That's an option? If Billy goes, I go. Andy, you got it. You're up.
The new guy. Stick it up, stuck.
I wanted Josh to say he was gonna stay 18 or 20 more years.
What's that?
I said I wanted Josh to say he was gonna stay 18 or 20 years also. That would be good.
Yeah, man.
He may. Not gonna take it personally.
Gas station on the corner, 281 and 108. Yeah. The whole year.
Yeah.
He had, that was his second,
Oh, is that
his
right?
grandfather's second job.
Second, okay.
All right, we'll move on to item F, approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes from January 16th, 2023, regular council meeting will stand approved. Hearing none, they stand approved. All right, item G, citizen communication. If there's anyone left in our audience that would like to address council or anyone on WebEx, you can leave a message in the chat and we will check that periodically. Item H, reports from council committees. H1, the Finance and Budget Committee did not meet on January 23rd, 2023 due to lack of agenda items. Item H2, the Safety and Human Resource Committee met on January 23rd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Dan?
Yes, at that time, our committee made several recommendations to refer to the entire council for discussion. Recommended to the council to add 2 apprenticeship positions for the electric department. Recommended to council to create a park and recreation facility manager position, and recommended to council to adjust the hourly rate for the IT specialist as recommended by the Human Resources Director and the City Manager, and also recommended to council to increase the salary for the IT Supervisor as recommended by the Human Resource Director and City Manager.
All right, thank you, Dan. Okay, moving on to item J, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. We have none tonight. Item K, second readings of ordinances and resolutions. Item K1, ordinance number 001-23, an ordinance allowing ODOT to work inside the city limits for the State Route 108 roundabout project and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second.
Sorry.
Yeah, Council President, nothing has changed with this one. Once again, to reiterate what I stated last meeting, it just gives the state access. As the lead agency on this project, it allows them to acquire right-of-ways for the project. We continue to pay, or we will pay 100% of the cost of additional items that we request as a result of this project. And upon completion of the project, we own the project.
And I know we talked to Chad a little bit about the detours and things like that, and I know we're working through that. That's probably my biggest concern, as I know
Yeah.
Mayor and some other people,
That will be a major concern through the spring and summer months, as we know, and we'll be getting out there much more in the near future. Not only will State Route 108 be shut down at the Route 24 exit ramp, but the county at the same time will be doing some work at the bridge on Oakwood Avenue. So heading north out of town is going to be a challenge this spring and summer. And suggest get your business done north of town. In all seriousness, it is going to be a challenge, and
Right.
we'll have to. And I don't believe a detour route has been stated yet or
Okay.
approved of yet. So we're still working on that.
okay. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, that will move on to third read. Item K2, resolution number 004-23, a resolution approving the execution of a schedule with American Municipal Power Incorporated, AMP, for participation in the Community Energy Saving Smart Thermostat Program and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second?
All right.
Yeah, Mr. President, this, again, nothing has changed with this piece of legislation. It allows us to make an effort to handle the peak load, specifically during the summer months, although we've found recently that we've had some load issues during winter months when it spiked during the Christmas holiday. But specifically during the summer months, it's a subscription-based program that allows people to sign up to have their thermostats basically adjusted via Wi-Fi, smart thermostats, up to, I believe, 4 times a year, or 4 events. It's completely voluntary, and there's a there's a maximum of 15 events per year for no more than 4 hours at a time. So it does allow them to control that load in that method, and the more people that we can get to sign up, the better. If member utilities are able to opt out at any time during any of the events, and those that do sign up for the program, those residents can do the same. They can choose to or not to do it during that time.
And from what I recall, having AMP here and kind of discussing this with us, what they're primarily talking about is days where it's extremely hot out. And if somebody has their thermostat is set at, let's say 65, it might just go up to like 67 or 68. It's not going to shut off their air conditioning and
That's
make
correct.
their house hot.
Right, it does not shut it off. I can't tell you the exact temperature that it limits it to, but it does not shut off the air conditioning.
Okay. All right. So I guess the only other thing I would ask is for the third read, if maybe we can have a little bit more of the information that we received from when they were here, because that was quite a while ago, and I know I'm not remembering a lot of it. So if we can look back.
Put that in the package.
So they changed the minimum number of subscribers.
Right.
To 0.
If I could add, the original is that they wanted you to have around 150 to 200 was the count that they gave to the city of Napoleon. That has been waived because we get charged like $8 per thermostat that do sign up for this. So we would have been on the hook for that amount at times $8 per month. So that has been waived, that minimum. I will work on getting you the presentation because it has been 6 months ago or longer.
yeah.
So I will try to get that for you and I'll email that out to you. One thing else that I would add is reiterate, Andy already spoke about this, is that a customer, the question was last time, is what happens if they leave? And Yes. A customer can leave the program anytime without penalty, and to unenroll, the customer just needs to send an email asking to end participation, and they will be out with that, so.
Will, sorry. Will we still be obligated to pay that $8 throughout the contract?
I don't believe we are,
No.
no, no.
That was what I thought
No,
our concern
we
was
would
the
be,
first
we'd not be obligated if they leave, we would not be or we would be obligated if we add more to it. So if we start off with 20, and then if we do a little more PR on it, and we get 30 or 40 or 50, then our number would go up with that. So,
Thank
but
you.
again, I will work on that presentation, because, yeah, it's been several months.
Right. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly, yes, Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, that will move on to third read. Item L, third readings of ordinances and resolutions. L1, ordinance number 084-22, an ordinance authorizing a pay increase for the City of Napoleon, Ohio Finance Director and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second?
Okay, don't have anything to add on this one. Anyone have any questions or comments? Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly, yes, Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, that has passed on third read. Item L2, ordinance number 085-22, an ordinance authorizing a pay increase for the City of Napoleon, Ohio Law Director and declaring an emergency.
A motion?
Second.
Okay, nothing else here unless someone has a question or comment. Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly, yes, Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, that also is passed on third read. Okay, moving on to item M, good of the city. M1 is discussion or action to approve the fire department to purchase 3 new cardiac monitors. And we're asking for a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation. Do you have any comments on this first?
Yes, Mr. President, there was, Joel was here, but there was $100,000 budgeted for this, for these cardiac monitors. The cost, I believe, is around $88,852. And it's for 3 monitors. We had requested that we move forward with this purchase without the need for competitive bidding, as these are the monitors that we've used in the past. Joel, you can speak to it probably better than I. They're used throughout the county.
I can't say for sure that the entire county uses it, but I did list a few that I made contact with: Liberty Center, Ridgeville, Henry County South Joint Ambulance District, and McLaren. So they all use the same monitor. We currently have a similar AED throughout the city. It uses the same patches as those. We currently integrate monitor imports into our current reporting system, so that link's already been set up and paid for. Currently in the ambulances, the hardware to mount these would be exactly the same, so we wouldn't have to replace any of the crash-rated mounting equipment in the squads. We have a current contract service agreement in place for maintenance on these monitors, and like Andy had said, that we've used these my past 13 years, and well before that, I contacted Tony Druitt, who said he believes that there might have been one monitor that was a different brand when they first started.
So this is replacing 3 that we already have.
This is replacing the 3 that we already have with the exact same model, although they are 10 years newer. New parts have been put in them to make them work a lot better now than when we first got them. We kind of got the beginning models right off the new production line, and they realized there's some changes that needed to happen, and over the years they've made those changes to them with our service agreement. They will be working on the new models very shortly after this year or next. They should be coming out with a new model. So we're kind of excited that we're getting the same monitors that we've always used, but with better parts in it, and they should get us out 10 more years before we have to make any adjustments.
What will happen with the old ones?
Trade-in.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
All right.
And oddly enough, they're roughly about the same price of what we paid originally for them with that trade-in value.
Thank Any other questions, comments? All right. We need a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation.
So move.
Second?
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly? Yes. Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. All right, moving on to item M2, discussion or action, approval of plans and specifications for the 2023 miscellaneous streets improvement project. Andy?
Yeah, you received in your packet the list of the projects that we are going to attempt to accomplish this year. In addition to the Wayne Park Drive, the Scott Street, Oakwood Avenue, or I'm sorry, Union Street and Jerome Drive, we have 2 alternate bids. Chad is hopeful that if the bidding comes in low enough, we can accomplish both of them. At this time, I don't think we've completely decided yet what direction we're gonna go with the alternates, whether we're going to attempt to complete the resurfacing of the canal basin, or if we will do Maumee Lane. But as I said, if the bids come in low enough, we're going to attempt to accomplish both of those.
The nice thing about both those alternates is neither one needs another move, because Canal Basin is right off of Scott Street if we're doing that project.
Right.
And the Maumee Lane is right off 110, so we're doing that project. So there's not a mobilization cost or lesser mobilization cost with both of those projects. That's always hopefully lower the cost a little bit. We're not jumping around town to do those, so if we get them all done, that'd be great.
Wayne Park Drive to County Road M2.
It's up the hill.
Yeah, it goes from Riverview all the way up the hill to where M2 comes into it. It doesn't go around.
Is that M1?
I think it's on
Yeah, M2's further out.
Eh,
That's the
think
one
so.
that the winery's on.
Right. Right, yeah.
That's what I hear.
I will have to get a correction on that. It does say M2.
That'd be a long way to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would.
Especially outside of our jurisdiction.
exactly.
We'll have to get a darn good price to do the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything over free, we're not gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
M2 was just done.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It's all right, that's a great project to get done, I think. It's pretty torn up,
Yeah,
especially for encouraging people to get out there and ride their bikes and
right.
use it down by the parks. So,
Ross, is that the area that we had a couple people asking about some trees that, so maybe part of this project, we can fill Andy in on this, but had some people that were concerned when they're turning off of Wayne Park. There's some trees that are blocking and they can't see, and, you know, some
To
of
the
those
west.
vehicles are going pretty fast. To the west,
can
was it?
understand that.
Yeah. So maybe we can put some notes in there while they're working on that, if that's something they can clean up a little bit, would be nice.
Okay.
All right, need a motion to approve.
A motion?
second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly? Yes. Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, that has been approved. Item M3, discussion or action to add 2 apprentice positions to the electric department. Hey, Andy.
Yes, Mr. President. Well, these were discussed during budget time and were actually put in the budget. After Todd Watchman left, the substation specialist position was vacated. While that will remain a position within the budget, it will not be filled. We feel that it's much more advantageous to bring in some new bodies to the electric department. We have a number of our electrical linemen that are eligible to retire and will be eligible to retire in the next 3 to 5 years. And I really recognized that when I started my tours a few weeks ago. So it's really will be a great benefit if we can get some people up and running. These positions, the apprentice program is approximately a 2-year program. before they're up and certified linemen. And I don't think these positions will go away anytime soon, just because of the number of people we have in our electric department that are eligible to retire. So we would keep these and probably cycle in some more. At some point, we will feel that we are comfortable with the group that we have out there, and we can then not fill these positions and, perhaps have the substation specialist funded again or hired again. So, just for reference, these two positions will start out at around $43,659 annual salary or annual pay, which is a combination of around $87,500. The substation specialist annual pay was around $78,249. So while it's slightly more, excuse me, it's almost a wash. And I think long-term very beneficial to the Napoleon Electric.
Thank you. Have any questions or comments regarding this?
I have a question. Would the absence of the substation specialist affect our maintenance agreement with AMP for Northside and Industrial?
I don't know. I will have to find that out. I don't know if you have any ideas on that.
I don't believe it would,
So we're making money from that, right?
yeah. I'll make sure, I'll check on that for you, but I don't believe it would be. My first thought is, but I will certainly follow up with that. Because we do have, there are some on-call things that have been switched to other employees. So I think that's already being handled, dispersed out, but I will confirm with that.
Okay. Thank you.
So we need a motion to add these, is that what we're looking for today?
Yes.
And then we want to just add, as long as this is not going to hinder any, the contract that we have with AMP.
Do we need a draft legislation for this?
We don't, because it was already approved through the AFSCME contract legislation.
We'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly, yes. Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Yes. All right, that has been approved. Item M4, discussion and action to create a Parks and Recreation Facility Manager position. Hey, Andy?
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to allow Tony to speak to this position. This has been discussed, as Dan alluded to, in the Safety and Human Resources Committee meeting, and it's a position that we feel will certainly help us in legacy planning. Tony's not getting any younger, but like some of us. And not only that, but with the investment we have out at the pool and golf facilities, we feel strongly that there should be somebody on top of that. So with that said, I will allow Tony to speak to this further.
As Andy said, this position actually, we presented this back during budget time to the Parks and Recreation Board. They also agree that I'm not getting any younger. With the addition of the rec center, busy the golf course has been getting, we really do need to have an extra set of eyes on that operation. It doesn't end at 4 o'clock when my workday ends. It ends at 8, 9 o'clock at night. There's just a lot going on. It's a really big investment. And quite frankly, there really isn't anybody within my office that can handle the admin stuff. I mean, it's been that way for 30 years. It's been fine, but if there comes a time where I'm not going to be in there, I really think it's the right thing to do. Legacy planning, as Andy alluded to, is probably the right time to do it. I don't intend to retire, but I'm at retirement age, so if we can bring somebody in that could kind of learn the operation, maybe have some new ideas, help out with some additional recreation programming, help out with some more programming at the swimming pool, the golf course. We've got a year-round operation
Yes, Dan.
Mr. President. Tony, didn't you say that the hours for this position might be different than your hours?
Yeah, so the idea would be is that we would flex that position. So we could get, somebody that can work out at the facility. I could foresee this position maybe being noon to 8, 10 to 6. It would be flexible, and that would be understood when we interview for this position, that it's not going to be an 8 to 5 job. It's going to be flexible based on how we want to set things up. So that's the understanding here. And then, that certainly can get adjusted by the time of the year as well. So that's.
Thank you.
Tony, do you anticipate this taking care of some of the, maybe some of the complaints and things at the golf course in the summertime when it's pretty much closed after the last cart goes out? And I know I've experienced it. Do you anticipate this taking care of that issue and potentially bringing more revenue because of that?
I do. We actually addressed that very issue at our last board meeting. So whether this position is approved or not, that issue of staying open will be addressed. But certainly would help with that and some other things that we just want to move forward on and expand a little bit. So certainly this position would aid in that. And again, at the aquatic center, I mean, there's lots of things that go on. There's a lot of evening hours, and we have a very good manager. She does a great job, and she has indicated she's coming back, but he's also, 21 years old and could get an offer to go someplace else, today. And then we're in a tough situation. So getting somebody in that you have continuity every year is very important as well. So that kind of adds to why we have to get this approved.
Obviously, facility manager is very needed June, July, and August, but is there enough stuff to do the other 9 months of the year to keep facilities manager very busy? Or how do you intend to use person to make sure they're gainfully employed?
Well, there's plenty of recreation programming that we have year-round. Again, the golf course operation is actually now a 12-month operation.
Understand, right? But
So yes,
right.
Yeah, there certainly is enough tasks that I would certainly assign that we can keep their gainful employed.
Okay.
Did you have a question? Was that yours?
That's good. You do wonder, seems like a summer thing, but it's not just summer. So.
I think if you look at communities that are growing, they all have a very strong recreation way to bring kids in from outside the areas. And next thing you know, well, I've been playing soccer with this kid for a long time, so I'm gonna open enroll in, or whatever the sport is, and hopefully you can add some more kids to school district that way. That's kind of a win-win. So.
This was not a budgeted item, was it?
If I were to remind council that this was one of the items that was on the wish list, I'll call it, that it was removed, but with the reasoning of bring it back. And now that there's been more discussion and more talk about it, this is the point of bringing it back. Personally, myself, I would encourage this to continue to move forward. I mean, I could say even in my office, while we have an outstanding person that runs the pool, we see it in our office because we bring in the money, that a set of eyes that is designated to do that over the course of the summer is certainly needed.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, we need a motion to create the Parks and Rec facility manager position.
To direct the law director to draft legislation.
That's what I heard him say.
Yeah.
To do that.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes. Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, that has been approved. Moving on to item M5, discussion or action to increase the salary for the IT supervisor as recommended by the Human Resource Director and City Manager.
Yes, Council President, as you know, there has been some private sector interest in our IT personnel in the last couple of months. And based on that, and this basically predates me, there was some homework done in regard to rates that other municipalities were paying their IT professionals. And we are not asking to go above and beyond what they are paying them, but we want to bring our rates up to being competitive with the other municipalities and doing whatever we can to retain our good professional folks. So I had brought this forward and asked that you look at raising the salary range for the IT supervisor's position. What I gave to you this evening, or I left at your places, was the recommendation that I would like to go with. The yellow is the green is the current rate for the IT supervisor, and the yellow is the rate that I would like to go to, or the range to which I would like to make this pay scale. And I would ask that you move forward with the legislation to make that change to the scale for the IT supervisor. I guess it's technically IT administrator.
Anybody have any questions or comments regarding this? Just to clarify, Andy, this is the IT supervisor position or the specialist?
This is the IT supervisor.
Okay, because I skipped the other one, there's no number
not
on there.
numbered? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go back to M 4.5 after this one, so.
4.B.
Okay, so just wanted to clarify that we are on the supervisor
I
one.
appreciate that.
And both of those will require legislation as well.
Okay. All right. So we need a motion to direct the law director for legislation.
Make the motion.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Abstain.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, then we'll go back to, we want to number that 4A. Discussion or action to adjust the hourly rate for the IT specialist as recommended by the Human Resource Director and City Manager.
Yeah, for very much the same reason. These two work very, very well together. They've done an excellent job for the city in managing 4 separate facilities, and we all know how important our information technology is these days. So I would ask that the range or the rate for the IT specialist be adjusted as well. And you can see in the paper that I put before you, his current rate is in the green, and the rate that I would request, or the steps that I would request, are those steps that are outlined in the yellow. Currently, that specialist is at the high range in the D step, so he's at the high end of his range.
Would he stay at that D step?
That's not my plan. My plan would be to move him to the C step
Okay.
of the next range.
I'll make the motion to draft legislation.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Abstain.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yep, thank you. Moving on to item M6, discussion or action to approve the police department to apply for the Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant. Chief?
Thank you, Council President. Since I used all my minutes the last time I was up here, I'll be really brief.
Well, let me get the timer going.
So there's two grants for vests. These are pretty much annual grants. This one's through the federal government. It's a reimbursement grant that we use for our bullet-resistant vests, which are budgeted items.
That's it? That was pretty quick.
I'm trying.
That full repay?
It's not full, it's a percentage.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, that has been approved. Oh, I see why you're so quick. You have a couple more going here. Uh-huh. Okay, item M7, discussion and action to approve the police department to apply for the ODNR Division of Wildlife Step Outside Grant Program.
Council President, this one's, it's called Step Outside Grant Application. We've never applied for this one. Brad Strickland, our SRO, actually found this one. It's through ODNR, but it's for family fishing days, outdoor skills days, shooting skills days, various other outdoor activities that we thought would go really nice with our Cops and Bobbers event. So we figured we'd give it a shot and see if we can get some donated or some grant money for it.
Great. All right. Need a motion?
A motion.
Second.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, item M8, discussion or action to approve the police department to apply for the AG Yost New Safety Innovation Grant.
Council President, this one was announced right after the change of the year, right around first couple weeks of January. This allows for each school in our jurisdiction to apply for technology grants for safety. I believe it's like up to $20,000 a school. There are things for silent panic alarms, shoot detection, license plate readers, things like that. Anything that's technology driven around the schools. It's my belief that I'm probably going to have a few requests on partnering with them. This is a school, one that would get actually sent to the school, but we would have to be partners in it. So I'm just asking for permission to be the partner side of that.
Thank you. All right, any questions or comments? Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. All right, that has been approved. Item M9, discussion or action to approve the police department to apply for the, is it PEP?
PEP.
The PEP Safety Grant.
Council President, this one's through our insurance company. They give $1,000 a year for something that's safety oriented. Our department's utilized it a couple times in the last few years. We're looking for a few items that might actually benefit our school safety zones and education out there this year. So I'm just looking to apply for it. There's no match. It's a straight $1,000 award if they give it to us.
Okay, great. Any questions or comments? Okay, need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. And that has been approved. Item M10, discussion or action to approve the police department to apply for the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program.
Council President, this is the partner, the one from the feds. This is through the state. It's a partial repayment, basically, again, for budgeted items, depending on the number of vests that we have and the percentages, but it's a repayment grant that we utilize through BWC.
All right.
You get so many jackets a year, don't you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Question,
Sir.
with the two new people coming in, do you have equipment for them? All-
Yeah, yes, so we buy, every officer gets a ballistic vest, and then those have a 5-year shelf life, so to speak, of daily wear. So every 5 years, we have to rotate those out. So they get new ones in 5 years, those get replaced. Both these grants are utilized either by the new ones or the replacements every year. I have them on schedule. Normally, we can try and get away with 2 or 3. With the hires that we've got this year, I'm looking at about 6 different vests that I know of. So that's why I want to apply for both grants in case, you know, depending on what the awards are on each one, but that way I've got things covered and at least we're trying to recover some of the money.
All right. All right, need a motion?
No motion?
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly? Yes. Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. All right, that's been approved. Item M11, discussion and action to approve the police department to apply for the USDA Community Facilities Direct Loan Grant and Loan Guarantees.
Council President, this is another new one. We're still researching what the requirements are, but I figured since I was asking for everything else, I'd just add this one on and we'd be done for the year. But this one is one that my Assistant Chief Legg came back with. He was able to locate it. It deals with funds that can be used to purchase, construct, or improve essential community facilities, which includes law enforcement facilities. So since we have a few building projects already scheduled for this year, and some maybe on the horizon, we wanted to at least see what that looked like. The understanding here would be that if there was a match, it would have to be a budgeted item. And so it's not gonna be, we're gonna have to see what it looks like first, but I figured we can at least, if I can get your permission to look into it and apply for it if that's appropriate for us.
Is there a cost to apply?
Not to my knowledge. The minimum match is a 25%. My thoughts before doing extensive research on it would be, since we've already got project scheduled for this year, that maybe I could utilize that as our 25% match to maybe get a couple of things that were on the wish list that we pushed off this year's budget. So that would be my mindset.
Council President?
Yes.
My concern with this is that the words loan and loan guarantees are in here.
Yeah, it's one big word, or one big statement.
I would caution very dearly that
This,
if they need a loan, then it needs to have a lot of discussion,
Correct.
decisions made.
We're approving
A
applying,
grant.
not approving acceptance.
I understand.
Right.
But that's my concern.
Understand.
The words loan are in
Yeah.
there, and any loan from this would be coming directly out of the general fund because the police do not have a funding source.
Right.
correct. I guess my intention would be just grant, if it was a grant-oriented type of situation instead of a loan.
And you'll know that before you would even actually
Absolutely.
apply for it. let alone-
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. I mean, if you said you're gonna do the research anyway, so if you
Right.
know that it's gonna be a loan, then
Then
no
it's-
reason to
then it's
apply.
not worth it.
Pretty easy for us to say no.
Right.
Exactly.
Or at
The
least have the
understanding,
discussion
my,
about it.
my request is for a grant and grant-only application. If it's anything other than that, I wouldn't be applying.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes. Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. All right, and M12, discussion and action to accept the drug use prevention grant of $510 for the police department. Chief?
So this is a grant that we've done for, I believe, the last year, maybe 2. It's drug education. Officer Strickland, this helps repay some of the costs that we use for funds out of the general fund for drug education, books, that type of thing, some of his salary, so forth. I think primarily we've been utilizing this as a salary replacement.
All right. Motion to accept.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Thank you,
Thank
Chief.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Chief.
All right. We'll go around the table here, and how about we start with our new city manager here?
Yeah, thank you. It was brought to my attention a short time ago that we do have a substation technician that does work our substations. Nick O'Graith is our current substation technician, so we still have that position.
Okay.
We just don't have Todd as our substation specialist.
Okay,
Thank you for that
thank you.
clarification.
Yep.
Other than that, I don't believe I have anything.
No? Okay. All right. Billy?
Nothing for me except for that executive session request that's already on.
Okay, thank you. Ken?
I have a couple of questions. I noticed that there was a inspection of something on the water towers. Are our water towers anywhere close to needing major work?
I hope not.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, we just did something.
Right, we painted them for, we got the longevity paint, I think, that was more expensive.
Yeah, just in the past, we did some work on those.
Sherwin-Williams, that's for sure.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And as we pretty much eliminated problems with the restrooms at Kids Kingdom?
I have not been informed of any issues recently. Not recently, but not yeah.
Too cold.
We are awaiting, some modifications to the doors, and once those are done, then we'll be able to, outfit some, automatic locks, similar to what we have at Overhouse Park, and our intention is to lock them after hours. And it, obviously, it best based on the time of the year, so, we're hoping that work will get finished up in the next couple weeks, and then we can get everything put online.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Dan?
Well, I have 3 items, and since the Parks Director is here, we'll start with him. Speaking of Overhouse Park, the Rotary Lions facility out there, you know, as a member of the Lions Club, you were alluding earlier about people getting older. Well, many of us in the Lions Club are getting older, okay? And with that in mind, we need some light at the main entrance of the door. Trying to unlock the door in the dark is a little difficult. Do you understand what I'm fishing at?
I believe that light should be on either a timer or a photo cell, it may not be working.
It definitely has not worked since at least November.
Okay.
And while you're at it, there's a clock in there that's stuck on 4 o'clock.
Change it to 5.
It's
hard as that to do.
Like they said.
That'd benefit us. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Anyway, I was told to bring that up, and since you're here, I brought that up on behalf of the Lions Club. Item,
Sorry.
Dan, does your flip phone have a? I'm just curious.
my phone does not have a light.
Okay, that's what I was asking. He needs one out there. He doesn't have one on his phone.
And the people older than me don't even have a phone.
Yeah.
Item number 2. On a more serious note, on our human resource director, I think she has spent a great deal of time going back into last fall and into January here now with the technology positions. And I do want to personally thank you for all of your efforts you've made. I know I've gave you a little bit of a hard time about coming back to our committee every month, but you've done a great job, and I appreciate that on behalf of the committee. And finally, the next Safety and Human Resource Committee meeting is with the townships. It's something we've done at least once a year, at least for the past 7 years, probably longer than that. But I've had a request to see if that meeting can be moved due to the fact that it is normally scheduled on the 4th Monday of February at 7:30. The request is seeing if we can move it, and a possible date I came up with after talking with Acting Chief Fry is maybe for Thursday, February 23rd at 7 o'clock. This would allow Kevin and or Andy or both to attend, and I think they're involved with AMP. At least in the past, that's been an AMP, because I've never had the finance director or the city manager here for that meeting.
Right.
So I don't know if there's anything special that needs to be done for that, but the request to have it moved to Thursday, the 23rd at 7. Is that correct, Joel?
Thursday, the 23rd?
At 7. And that way will give us time to notify the townships of this adjustment into the meeting. That is all. I have no other strange request.
No? Okay. You want to follow that?
No, but I guess I have to. Before, when Joel Mazer was here, he served on the Henry County Land Bank Board. I have a request from the commissioners to appoint Andy to that, so I'm gonna appoint Andy Small to the Henry County Land Bank Board. Traditionally, I've always done a quick motion, if you guys wanna do that quick.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Hey, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
The month of February has been designated as Career and Technical Education Month. So understand that has been proclaimed that February 1st to 28th, 2023 has been Career and Technical Education Month. Obviously, the partners we have at Four County do a wonderful job taking the kids that may not be going to college for 4 years and giving them a career. There could be a couple in there right now that are gonna become apprentices for us, or who knows what kind of job they're gonna do here in Northwest Ohio. We just appreciate all that Four County does for Henry County, for Napoleon day in and day out. So proud to do that once again, but I'll save all the proclamation, let's proclaim it like that. So those are the two things that I had. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. The Finance and Budget Committee, do we have anything that would be on the agenda for
February?
February?
No.
Okay. If we do, we would have to move that one as well, since,
We will need to meet for the next month because we'll do first quarter budget adjustments, but not in February.
okay. All right, and then,
So you could, if you would like to cancel it, you may.
okay, yep. Yes, can we please cancel that? Thank you. All right, and then I received from the Community Improvement Corporation of Henry County, they just want to make sure that we do have representatives from the city of Napoleon, actually it is too. And the last few years, it's been Ross and myself, and this is for the Tax Incentive Review Committee, or Council. Right now, it's been Ross and I. Anyone have any interest in being on that?
You guys have done a great job.
Don't all jump at once. Wow. I can appoint people, can't I?
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
I can, but I'll reappoint you if you want. Okay, good. Need a motion? I'm sorry, I can't. I can't ask for
I'm happy to do it again. Ross?
Sounds good.
All right, could we have a motion for that, please?
So
I'll second.
I'll do whatever she.
All right. Did you get that? Those two, yeah. All right, Marissa, please call the roll.
Dan?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, that's all I have. Ross?
All right. Chief Mac, it's always nice to start the meeting off with swearing in people, and congratulations to the 3 of those individuals. And thank your department for all these grant applications. It's always something good to see on the agenda, so. And Brad Strickland going above and beyond probably his normal job responsibilities to take time and looking into that stuff. Really appreciate it. I was asked if we had any update on looking for a fire chief.
We have interviews this week.
Okay,
We have interviews with 3 candidates
okay,
tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
good deal. Lastly, in our packets this week, we had a state of the IT department. A lot of times with IT, no news is good news. So they are providing us with quarterly updates on their department. The raises that we provided tonight were definitely earned. There's a lot of stuff that they do behind the scenes that we don't see. So just a few things that they've worked on since the start of the year. Installing new alarm systems in all the facilities. upgrades to the phone system, and they are currently working on network upgrades to just ensure that we are running as efficiently as possible. So give them their kudos. That's all I had.
I'll add to that a little bit. I did have someone tell me a few days ago, she's lives in the Columbus area and needed to do some research for something in Napoleon, and she was blown away at our website. She said, I thought Napoleon was a really small town, and I saw how nice the website was. She said, I had to look to see how many residents were there. She said most of the websites that she looks at that have 50,000 or more don't have websites nearly as good as ours. So that was very nice. I did get a chance to talk to Dustin and let him know. But if you want to pass it on to both of them.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Lori.
I'll just piggyback a little bit on that too, that I've never heard a single complaint from anyone, and anyone who has IT administrators knows that they're usually the people that get bashed on the most. So I think that it was wise to keep those two in place, and hopefully happy to stay here with us. So, and sort of going along with that, I just want to appreciate the departments for the succession planning that you're doing with the parks manager and the apprentices for our electric department, because it's just great to think ahead, so we're not trying to think fast when we might not be able to. And I just want to cancel electric committee meeting for next Monday due to lack of agenda items.
Okay, thank you. Next.
All right. Another kudos to Officer Strickland. I had a really excited fifth grader today who graduated DARE. And she has had nothing but good things to say. Every time he meets with them, she comes home and just spills it. She just loves Officer Strickland. And I think that's good too for the kids to have that outreach to him. And that's pretty awesome. So thank him for me as a parent. So, yeah. And then also, due to lack of agenda items, we're going to cancel municipal properties, land use and economic development. All right, thank you.
All right. Save the best for last.
I do have a couple items. One is, we just all need to keep an eye on the state budget as they start their budget hearings. There's the one legislation that needs to pass, and needs to pass by June 30th, is the state budget. And what happens with that state budget is that's where all these little items can be thrown in. There's nothing on the horizon that I've heard of so far, but we just need to keep an eye on that. I mean, we are very blessed that our House member and our Senate member live in the great city of Napoleon, so that we can have some pretty easy access to some talking points of that. But every 2 years, they have to pass this budget, and again, just as a cautionary tale, you don't know what's going to end up in there. Because it could be something that could throw in there that cost us money, to be quite honest, and that would be our concern with that. The second thing is I want to just bring up, we had a severe storm issue on December 23rd, 24th, and 25th. You know, we've dealt with some local things of some water line freezes and items like that we handled very well. What that winter storm, they actually called it Winter Storm Elliott, caused is our electric rates to really be high in the month of December. For example, normally our bill for the month is around $1 million to $1.1 million. This past one was over $1.3 million. Now, what happened with that is that when that storm hit, there was a surge in energy that needed to be taken care of. And we have our regional transmission is called PJM. PJM did not anticipate that much energy. So they called our AMP communities to up their energy production. So that helped, but the prices of energy, which is priced, they go by what's called MWHs, rose significantly. And not to get too technical with this, but we usually pay under $100 per MWH. And on the, let's see here, on some dates that we were close to $2,000 per MWH to a high of $3,500. The price just spiked. Now, we pay, or we buy around 15% of our energy off the market, and those are the market rates. The good news for us is that we do do a 3-month rolling average, so while this will be part of our 3-month rolling average, that helps level off that cost. So if we do have people that have say, hey, our electric is awfully high this month, that storm certainly did a number in the region, not just Napoleon, but in the region. The thermostat program could have helped offset that minorly, but it was sort of this, for energy-wise, it was the perfect storm with that. Moving forward, though, in January, warm weather leads to the lowest prices in like 20 months. So we should offset with that. And if you saw today's Northwest Signal, there was an article that January was like the 6th warmest January on record. So peaks and valleys on that, but we talk about a peak. This was a very high peak for us, for us and other communities.
It was, and as Kevin alluded to, it could have been much worse, believe it or not. I mean, he said we buy 15% of our power off the market. There are some communities that buy far higher than that, far higher percentage. And we're fortunate to have the portfolio we have in order to, and the 3-month rolling average, in order to somewhat temper that spike.
So an FYI on that.
Yeah, thank you for.
Because that does affect our citizens.
Thanks for explaining that. That's helpful.
That's all I have.
All right. Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to item, I guess it's not marked, executive session. We have a motion to go into executive session for pending or imminent litigation.
So moved. Second.
Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Executive session for pending or imminent litigation.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes, no action taken. And Kevin?
Just one quick item. Thank you for the time. AMP is applying for, from the Department of Energy, what's called a Grid Resilience and Innovation Partnership Program, GRIP program, and it's a $50 million grant funding. And so what I just want to tell you guys today, that the city of Napoleon should be interested in this, and I need to let them know by February 13th. It's something that Andy and I could certainly discuss, but there'll be a letter of commitment that they're going to ask with the support of council with this. And so just a heads up that that is not due to them until March 8th. So in the next council meeting, it'll be on for the good of the city with that. And what this does is basically brings up our grid, or our, the AMPS grid, into more of a powerful unit with that. Becomes more time sensitive and be able to pick up things like what with the issue we had on the 23rd of December. So, as I get more information, there is a Zoom call later this week, so as I get more information, I can pass it on to you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and I do see on the screen there, there's a reminder for our Ohio Ethics Commission filing. Let's make sure we get those done. All right. Item N, approve payment of bills. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills shall stand approved. Okay, hearing none, they stand approved. Have a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Marissa, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes.